Alright, well, if exercise 3.1 threw you, exercise 3.2 definitely confused you. So let's try to talk it through, and hopefully I can make you see what it was they were asking for. So the instructions said, the following list of ideas was extracted by a student from free writing he did for a brief paper on soccer in the U.S. Using his thesis statement as a guide, pick out the general ideas and arrange the relevant specific points under them. In some cases, you may have to infer general ideas to cover specific points in the list. And so we are given a thesis statement, and then we're given just this list of stuff. And so often you will have a topic and you might have a lot of things that you want to say about it, or just these kind of word association things. And so you can do something called free writing, which was covered in the chapter. And it shows, you just write everything that you can think of. Just keep writing. And the idea with a free writing is that you give yourself, say, 2 minutes, and you just write the entire 2 minutes. And so it's not unusual then to get a list of just stuff like this guy came up with. Well, then you have all of this stuff, but you can't just turn it in as is, because obviously that would be a mess. And so what you have to do is go back then and kind of impose an order on it. And so you could create some sort of outline, or I'm more visual sometimes. In fact, I have a whiteboard in my home office where I can kind of sketch things out and draw them and kind of move things and whatever, or I use color coding a lot of times, whatever works for you. And so what I've done here is I've made a chart. So I've tried to find what I saw as the 3 main ideas in this person's thesis statement. So the thesis that we're given is, although its growth in the United States has been slow and halting, professional soccer may finally be poised to become a major American sport. And then I just kind of tried to go from there. So I saw kind of 3 things at work in there. This elsewhere, soccer will probably never be this sport in the United States that it is elsewhere, because both the potential fans and the potential backers resist it. Again, as I said in exercise 3.1, this is what I see in it. And so sometimes what I see and what you see will be totally different things, especially in this case where we're working with something that's part of an exercise and it's all made up. And so this is sort of the order that I came up with. This is, soccer is not big elsewhere, so I took the ideas right here and I put them under an elsewhere kind of category. And then, potential fans, and I put it in sort of this category. And then potential backers, I kind of put it in this category. So when I look at his list of things, this is what I'm seeing. In the countries of South and Latin America, soccer is a favorite sport. And so, I see that as kind of maybe fitting in over here. Or actually I don't see it fitting in the overall vision at all. And so you were told that you might have to infer or guess at a connection, or in my case, I just let some things go. Huge TV audience. And so that would kind of go over there. And so I kind of tried to break it into 3 columns, and each of my columns would represent a body paragraph. So if I were doing a standard essay, I'd have my introduction with my thesis at the end, body paragraph 1, 2, and 3. A couple of things though, when it comes to body paragraph 1, 2, and 3, and why I have certain things shaded. So if you look, there are a couple of things that are shaded, and it's actually because they overlap, right? And so a good argument could be made that they could go into any one of the paragraphs or more than one paragraph. And so, what do you do? Well, it's not ideal to put this idea in 2 paragraphs, because now your reader is going to feel like you're kind of repeating yourself or you're jumping back and forth. And so the ideal thing to do with an idea that you could put into 2 paragraphs is you use it as the transition from the one paragraph to the other. And so that's why these things, even they're shaded, they show up in 2 places, but there's a built-in transition, so why not use it? The other thing is you'll notice that this paragraph has a lot in it, and this paragraph does not have a lot in it. That means that eventually these are not going to be developed as fully, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. You know, it's not as if a paragraph has to have, 5 sentences and only 5 sentences and things like that. However, when they're this unbalanced, then probably you're going to need to build up this paragraph and find some more ideas or more information to make it a little more equal. Again, it's not this magic formula that, every paragraph has 5 sentences in it and every essay has 5 paragraphs in it, because if that were the case, then every topic could be handled in 25 sentences and only 25 sentences. And I think we all know that solving world peace or world hunger cannot be done in 25 sentences. It can't even be done in 25 years. So if you had that idea in your head, let's let that go. I give you that exercise 3.2. The instructions are not especially clear, and they are somewhat confusing, and probably you didn't come up with anything at all like what I came up with out of it, because I just went with my best guess and my gut instinct. And sometimes it's just kind of what you have to do, right? So do your best. Again, if you have questions along the way, email me. Those of you that did, it seems like it helped. So if you're stuck, post questions to the general board or shoot me an email and I'll do my best to get you unstuck. All right, thanks guys.